board, and he's here. And significantly, it's the last ever ride for Michael Barcelona in his job with Godolphin France for Favre, his longtime mentor. So he's going to attract support. But there are a few horses here running around at big prices with live chances. This is a deep race.
So he is your first choice, is he?
Giavolotto is my idea of a real potential value option here. I think people don't realise quite how good his 2 wins this season are. He's winning the Yorkshire Cup when he laughed at Vauban, horse you'll know very well from his Melbourne Cup exploits, and at Newmarket where he dismissed a Group 2 field like a good one. Last time out, people would say he was a bit below par in the Irish St. Ledger, but he got very, very sweaty. Keep an eye on him, Jenny. He's quite a feisty character. And in the gate, he put his head over the adjacent stall, and it just wasn't set up for him right. A real good paddock report, and I'll go from keen to very keen on Giavolotto.
Okay. Let's head over to Paul Lally and Nick Child, who are standing by above the parade ring. An exciting race coming up here. Does it go to the Northern Hemisphere again? Maybe Japan, or could it go down under to Australia, guys?
Well, it could go any number of ways, Tom, this race, couldn't it? I think this is a cracking renewal of the Vase. It really is, and we're pulling runners from every corner of the globe, which just adds so much more intrigue to this race, Paul. And I know the French have obviously always had a very good record, and you're pretty keen on one of them.
Yeah, I quite like Iracine in this race. Look, he's only had 2 goes on a good tracks, 1-1 and been placed. All the runs and all his good form is also on heavy tracks. So there is that little bit of unknown. But all the money's going for Stellenbosch, the Japanese filly, 3. And a lot of it's got to do with Joe Moreira board. So come up quite short, I thought.
Yeah, there's a look at that wonderful trophy, the Hong Kong Vase. Of course, you mentioned Marie Vallon is riding Iracine as well. So great to have her here on board this horse. And, you know, he's a horse that she knows very well.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah, she does. And, look, I think, like Graham says, I think it's a legitimate chance at a big price.
Good to see Dubai Honour in this race. Has run in the Cup previously, but he's stepping up in trip. And this is one win in a jurisdiction that William Haggis has always wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And, look, he's been there, done that in the past. He's a well-travelled horse.
The fairy tale could well be Luxembourg, of course, having his final run as a racehorse. Let's get back down to the parade ring. Tom, Jenny and Graham waiting for us down there.
Thank you, guys. Jenny, who do you feel the best chance of the local runners is? The staying ranks here are a little thin, and they do tend to struggle. I think our last winner, Exultant, and I don't think we've got the same quality of horse amongst these local runners this year.
Well, I totally agree with you. I think the Carrying Generation, if they go forward with him, he might give you a bit of a sight, but I still don't think he's going to be quite good enough. Luxembourg, I'm interested to see if he can come back and perform as well. But they're coming into the parade, so I'm going to leave you two to it, and I'll go and have a look.
Let's head over to Dubai Honour, the first of them coming into the yard here, Graham. My worry is that he's been here before and he still hasn't done it.
I agree with you. He's had a couple of chances. Mind you, look who he was in against in those races. He was second in the Hong Kong Cup behind... fourth in the Hong Kong Cup behind Loves Only You, third behind Romantic Warrior and Prognosis in the QE2 Cup last year. But he's now got his Group 1. He comes back as a Group 1 winner finally.
How's he looking, Jenny?
Look, he's a really neat type of horse. He's got a bit of a bouncy walk on him. That's his style more than anything else. But his behaviour's good. He's just got a little bit of sweat on him, but not enough to be concerned about. I like his nature. Iracine is right directly behind him. It's not worrying him, but he's very close. Just might, any normal horse would probably stir up. But he's got a good demeanour about him, and I think he looks well. He's nothing wrong with his fluency.
We've got Iracine on screen, Jenny. He's been a bit of a dude at track work. How's he looking?
Well, he's eager. He's keen with his 2 handlers. He's been clipped out, but he looks healthy. He does look fit enough. He carries a little bit of weight around the midsection. That's probably just his type more than anything else. But I think fluency is not an issue, and he's just very eager. So he parades well without being outstanding.
Mark was at Graham, very heavy track in Germany last time out. I'm not too worried about him on top of the ground today, I must say.
Yeah, I stood in this spot 12 months ago and was worried about Junko on the fast ground from the same stable. He radished out. Marquisat's best is good. His last run in Germany may be a forgive race.
And Barcelona rides, Jenny.
Look, I love his demeanour. Gee, he's such a quiet, relaxed type of horse. He's about your average height. He's been clipped out. He's not worried of anything here. So he's just taking it all in his stride. He walks out beautifully. He just took a dodgy step behind, but that was just because he's so relaxed more than anything else. So he's really fit and very well. I'll consider him.
Without a fight, Jenny, on screen now, they think he's better this way of going at Sharton as well.
Yep, look, I can't leap over everyone here, so I'll just wait for him to to get into my view, and it shouldn't be too far away. He seems to be about to head around this corner. So you can see he's on his toes a little bit. I'm not sure if this is very normal for him, so I'd like to see him settle down. He's got a strong chest. He does look extremely fit, so it looks like they've poured the work into him. And now that he's about to go back onto his toes. He was about to walk, but they're back on his toes again. So look, he's health-wise, he's okay. He's very fit. He's a nice type. And now that he is walking, I can tell you how he's walking. There's no issues, so he's good.
Giavolotto, Graham, no British winner for over a decade.
Oh yeah, 12 years since Red Cadeau won this race for Ed Dunlop and Ronnie Arculi. And this horse he's too big a price. He's 18 on the board at the moment. He's only had 5 runs this season. 2 of them were mighty impressive wins. 1 at York, 1 at Newmarket. Not quite up to that level last time. But Jenny, is he staying calm in the paddock? Because he tends to be a little high metal, this fella.
Well, the handlers are doing a fantastic job with him because he's beautifully behaved. He's been clipped out. He looks so fit. And he's really clean in his walking action as well. He looks good. I was on form. I probably was inclined to want to go with a few others, but I'm pretty sure I'll have to consider him for the looks department. He looks good.
How's Luxembourg parading? Jenny, his swan song before off to a stud.
He carries a bit of weight around the midsection, this horse, so he looks like he would need a run, but that's just him, I think. I've seen him once before, and I'm pretty sure he paraded very similarly. He's beautifully relaxed here in the parade. Tall horse, continues to walk out nicely. He's well without being extraordinary, so I'm probably going to prefer a few others.
Is he, Graham, coming here in the same form, though?
It's debatable. But his last run in the Breeders' Cup doesn't look great on paper, Tom, but he was bottled up the entire home straight. So forgive that. Concentrate on his overall body of work. Group 1 winner at 2, 3, 4 and 5.
Pradaria, Jenny for Japan. Christian Demuro takes the ride here, and he's a 3-time winner over the distance.
He's bandaged on those hind legs. He's behaving himself nicely. He's a well put together type. Beautiful shine to his coat. He walks. He's a really good walker as well. So he parades quite nicely. His recent form's not been overly special, but he's a nice horse. Hard to ignore.
By deep impact, of course, is Pradaria as we move to a 5G patch now. Good run resuming, found some trouble, and then looked to only battle, I thought, last time out. Needs to really step up a couple of gears here, Jenny, I think, to be competitive.
Yeah, I think so. And 1,016 pounds is what he weighs in at. But for that amount of weight, it's really well distributed on him. He's got a nice nature. He's really relaxed, and he does walk out well. He's very alert as well. So the occasion's certainly not getting to him, and he certainly gets a pass. There's nothing wrong with him.
So let's pick up on 1 or 2 more. Here comes number 9. This is Continuous, and he's going to be a big price on the board, and he could be in to help shape the pace of the race because he's a natural front runner. He looked a tremendous horse last autumn, 23. It hasn't gone his way this time, but the big plus point for Continuous this time around, he gets fast ground for the first time in a little while.
Well, he's been clipped out as well. He's not a very tall horse, but he's quite stocky. He carries a bit of weight around the midsection there, but that's probably just him. I love his demeanour. He's a really quiet horse, and he does appear to be walking out freely as well. So he's not bothered by the occasion either. His behaviour is very good.
Last City Blanche now with Jenny, number 10. He's in the market at 23-1. Again, enjoys the distance. A Group 1 winner over in Argentina prior to arriving, but a heck of a step up here for him too.
Yeah, certainly is. So he's done the good form overseas. He's run some really nice races here as well. He was the winner of the Queen Mother Memorial Cup and at Group 3 level. So he can run the odd good run. But he is a horse that never carries any excess condition. He's still a very, very smooth walking horse, though, and he's just nicely relaxed. So if he was to throw in one of his decent runs, it's not going to shock me because he actually looks quite well.
Big step up for Graham, for him. Matthew Chadwick, Tony Cruz, the old combination, but tough for Larceny.
Yeah, we've seen that Hong Kong can win this race in relatively recent times. But to win it, you need a crackerjack like Exultant, and I'm not sure we have any Exultants on the home team today.
Young Generation, Jenny, if he gets his own way and can go forward and get a cheap enough sort of run in transit, could be tough to peg back.
Yeah, we just saw Mr. Long. He will be feeling the nerves, not necessarily for this one so much, but one coming up in the sprint in the next. Now, Young Generation has got some good body strength. He's just on and off his toes a little bit, but in a good way. No sweat on him. He's very strong. He does look well.
And finally in shoot, Jenny, who's one of the final runners here for John Size and James McDonald. They team up here. Of course, good win in the Sasa Ladies Purse, but again, another horse with that international rating of 107 that needs to find a bit.
He certainly does, yeah. Look, he's a pretty good horse, I will say that, and James McDonald to ride him here is a positive. Now, he's so calm and relaxed. He's a very unassuming type. There's nothing overly special about him. He doesn't carry any excess condition, but in saying that, he's extremely fit and he's really healthy, and he's on his home turf here, so I could see him not disgracing. He actually prays well for him.
Stellenbosch, the favourite, the Japanese filly, has joined the chat. And I've seen her on the track this week. She's not especially powerfully built. She's quite elegant, Jenny. She comes here with high-class form, little unlucky more than once. And Joe Moreira is back into play today.
Yep, he certainly is. Now bandaged on those hind legs. She is very lean looking.
Yeah.
She carries no excess condition, 1,023 pounds, and she sort of thins out towards the flank area there. I'm not sure if this is normal for her, but yes, there is no meat left on the bone really with her. So she's as fit as she could possibly be, and she's a talented filly, having won 3 of her 7. On looks, I'm probably going to prefer a few others.
Best turned out horse there without a fight for the Friedman team from Australia. Let's head over to Nick Child, who's standing by with the trainer of Gio Velotto. It's a very warm welcome to Marco Botti.
Yeah, it certainly is a warm welcome back. Marco, of course, who's had a couple of runners in this race a few years ago, but it has been a little while. Newmarket based. You've brought Gio Velotto over, Marco, and your horse looks really well.
Yeah, he's travelled well. Very pleased. He's taking so well, and he likes travelling. Actually, he's been to Saudi, Dubai, so very pleased. The condition, he looks well, and obviously the ground is fine for him. Sort of coming back to 1.5 miles, and we just hope he's quick enough. His optimum trip has been 1.6 miles, but he won over 1.5 miles in the summer at Newmarket. So
Graham Cunningham, who's with us on the broadcast this afternoon, was saying before that he's formed this summer. I mean, he certainly shouldn't be discounted. It's some very strong form.
Absolutely, no. He's done nothing wrong this year. He's lightly raced. This is only 6 starts of the year, and on form is definitely there with the best one. We got a decent draw in the middle, so Oshin knows the horse quite well, so we hopeful.
And I read an article that Oshin was very instrumental in suggesting that he came here.
Yeah, Oshin rode him in the Irish Sun Ledger. We thought he ran a good race behind the Caprios. And he was convinced. He said, well, I think we should go to Hong Kong. He will handle the track, and so we sort of follow his advice, and here we are. So.
And I'm sure, just finally, Marco, lovely for you and your connections to be here. I mean, we've got beautiful weather. It's a wonderful race day. Where else would you rather be?
Absolutely, no. There's no better place for sure. We came here a couple of times before, but it's been a while, so great to be back.
Marco, great to have you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you to Marco Botti. As runners are leaving the parade ring here, Jenny, for the first of the features of the Turf World Championships this afternoon, the Hong Kong Vase. Who were the standouts of some of these stayers?
Yeah, look, some lovely horses here, no doubt about it. I'm going with the 6, Marquezat. I thought he paraded beautifully here. He's so quiet and relaxed. He looks extremely fit. He's been clipped out, but did not put a foot wrong in the parade. So I've got him on top. Of number 2, Gio Velotto. I know Graham's very keen on this horse, and he did parade very nicely. Behaved himself. He walked out really well. Next best, number 1, Without a Fight, was slightly on his toes, but he looks extremely fit. And I'm going to put in the 7 as well, Predaria from Japan. I thought he paraded really nicely. His recent form, not overly special, but gee, looks well. So in order for me, I'm going 6, 2, 1 and 7.
Before we head up to Mark, let's get a quick market update from Paul. What's going on in the market here for the Vase?
Well, a lot of money for the bottom one, Stellenbosch. She's into 2.7. Without a Fight from Australia at 4.5. The only other single-figured runner is now Luxembourg at 6.7. Marquezat for France is at 11. He comes up as the 4th favourite. And then 15 Ensured for Hong Kong and 18 Gio Velotto.
Thank you, Paul. Upstairs to you, Mark, for your thoughts here on the first of the Group 1s this afternoon. Punters really seem to be warming to the 3-year-old filly Stellenbosch at the bottom. Really short too, 2.7.
She is, Tom. Yeah, 1.4 a place. She's in the top 4, but sticking with the Australian here without a fight. Big ask to come after having just one run back for a third behind Vase in the Champion Stakes last time. That was first up for around 12 months, and if Anthony and Sam Freedman weren't happy with that run, he wouldn't be here. He's drawn barrier number 1. He's just going to get a perfect trip on the rail. So as long as he's continued to build the fitness, which no doubt he has because he's come to Hong Kong after the Australian run, he's on top. To beat number 5, Iracine. Something about this horse. He's won 8 times over the distance. Marie Vellen rides for Jean-Pierre Gauvin, who's been riding him in track work right throughout the week. Comes out of the Champion Stakes behind Enmat at Ascot last time. Group 2 winner 2 runs ago. He's got an air about him as well. Number 2, Giavolotto's going in at 17 and 4.4, and Stellenbosch has come in even further now. And 3-year-olds have got not a bad record in the race, and the filly has her first look outside of age racing as 2 and 3, and in against the older horses here for the first time. 1, 5, 2 and 13, Paul, for race number 4.
Yeah, I made 5 the value bet of the afternoon here at 23 and 6. Iracine. There is concern about the track, but he's only had 2 goes on it, and he's won one and been placed on the other. So I'm not too worried about that at all. And I've liked his track work during the week. Luxembourg got within a head of Romantic Warrior last time. He's in there for second. Stellenbosch the favourite third, and then without a fight for fourth. So 5, 3, 13 and 1 for me.
Yeah, recap of my numbers here. I'm with 5. I'm with number in the market here, 6. Mark was it. I made my value bet at 10 and at 3.2 here, 10 to 1 at the moment. I'm not worried about him coming onto a dry track here this afternoon. Didn't enjoy that really heavy track over in Germany last time out. There's a bit of sort of junk I feel about him. He got checked at the start last time out as well. So each way 6. Outside of that, I'm not. I'm throwing in the other French galloper as well, and that is Iracine. I haven't minded the way that he's been working during the week. Another one that's got limited form on a dry track. Padaria should get a nice run in transit, and also without a fight making it into the top 4. 6, 5, 7 and 1. A recap of Nick's numbers on screen as well. 3, 5, 4 and 1. Jenny, your numbers, please.
Yeah, the 6 goes on top for me as well. I thought Marcus that paraded beautifully. Now, I suppose the big query is the dry track here for this horse, but he is only a 4-year-old. There could be plenty of upside for him, and he just conducted himself so well in the parade. He goes on top of Giavolotto. I thought he paraded nicely too. He's a very good walker, nice.
He split the whole way, easy beast. At the 700-metre mark, 3 clear, 2 Lady Toucan, who's bringing the field up. Dr. Robert was right there still, then Pawani. Prickly Poppy travelling okay off the speed.
BB, and I thought number 7 paraded really quite well. So Padaria from Japan with Christian Demiro on board. Nicely drawn in gate number 2, so maybe a little roughy there. 6, 2, 1 and 7 for me, right?
Can't keep the punters off this Japanese filly, Stellenbosch. Number 13 is now 2.6, which I don't think any of us really anticipated.
Are you surprised they've singled one out here and a two from a wide?
Yes, I am. I think it's a deeper race than that suggests. She has had traffic problems more than once of late, so we can upgrade those performances in Japan. Jo is back aboard today. She's an elegant mover, fluent mover, but 2.6, I think, for any horse in this race is tight. So good luck to her. She comes from a stable who are no stranger to a good filly, because Mr. Kunieda trained, of course, the mighty Almond Eye.
Yeah, he's in 2. She's in 2. We're 2.5 now, Paul. Are you surprised with the market support there? Who do you think is the honest value in the race?
Well, I've thought Iracine was, and at 24s and 5.9, the French have got a really good record in this race. So I thought that was a really good value. Look at the play. I know you like Marcus at the other French, so I'm going for a Northern Hemisphere play and throw in Luxembourg as well. He didn't get much luck last time, and we know he likes it here. Went within a head of Romantic Warrior. So 3, 5 and 6. But you know, the Northern Hemisphere horses are at good prices, and as Jenny says with Padaria at 18 to 1, it's hard to see one of the Japanese horses running bad as well.
Continuous here. Jenny's a Colt by Heart's Cry. Of course, he's an Irish St. Leger winner. How did he look on the parade for Wayne Lorden?
Yeah, look, he was well behaved. He was quite relaxed in the parade. He's not overly big, but he does, just his conformation. He carries a little bit of weight around the midsection. I'm sure he's fit. That's just him. So he's strong enough. He's quite stocky.
Where does his form stack up for this sort of race, Graham?
This time last year, Tom, he'd be a single-figure price, because this time last year, he won the St. Ledger Classic, Group 1. He finished 5th in Ace Impact's Arc de Triomphe, and I thought he would be a 120-plus horse in 2024. It hasn't worked out, but it could be that some soft ground has been against him. I think his role in this race is key from a tactical point of view, because I see him going forward and helping Luxembourg, his stablemate, find a nice slot behind. And I think, Jenny, HKIR Generation has gone forward in the past, and his Derby run suggests that might be the way to go with him.
Quite possibly. I mean, I would be surprised if they did want to do other tactics with him. I think that gives him his best opportunity at this level. I don't know whether he's quite good enough, though. That would be my little concern.
Isn't it brilliant to have a big-time Aussie challenger, high-quality Japanese horses, Irish horses, British horses, all up against the Hong Kong team? It's what this occasion is all about, isn't it?
Certainly is.
HKIR Generation, Andrea Aretti riding him. Let's not forget, he partnered Without a Fight when he raced in Europe, and also Giavolotto as well, so he knows those rivals well.
He did. He told me about Giavolotto. He had the ride and was looking forward to riding him in the summer last year. Then he decided to come to Hong Kong, so you have to leave some good stuff behind to come here.
You do. Back quickly to Luxembourg. Are you surprised they're running 2,400 metres, not the 2,000 like they've attacked before? Do they see this as a better option for him to maybe go out rather than running into Romantic Warrior?
He's run a Group 1 win 2,400 this year at Epsom, but it was an absolute Pied Piper dawdle race. Ryan Moore dictated, quickened, that was all she wrote. But he's a highly consistent Group 1 horse. This is his swan song.
Last look at the market, Paul, as the starters on the platform.
More money for Stellenbosch. She's into 2.4. Money coming from Pradaria, the Japanese horse on a place line, now into 4.3 and being backed through exotics.
Okay, not too many left to load. The Turf World Championships about to get underway here at Sharton. We welcome you into our telecast wherever you are around the world, tuning into our feed today from Hong Kong. Sharton Racecourse is the scene. $126 million worth of prize money across the 4 races of the Turf World Championships. And to call them, it's race caller Mark McNamara.
Thank you, Tom. And the filly Stellenbosch looking to join Mogul and Highland Reel as only the third 3-year-old to win this race. Over the last 10 years, they're ready. At the 1.5 miles, racing in the Vase. And it's a good line away. No early speed from Iracine. He's being hustled along, but he's gone back to last, and Ensued began well. HKIR Generation with pace, and outside of them is Last City Blanche. Pradaria punching up against the rail. Dubayana gets over behind them, and wider as Luxembourg. Without a Fight's down on the fence. Marquisat's wider from Giavolotto, and then came Continuous, who's gone back to be 4th last. Iracine is on the fence. The favourite Stellenbosch is 2nd last, and 5G Patches last of all. A round to go, and it's Pradaria for Japan. Joined up front by Last City Blanche for Hong Kong, China, and HKIR Generation 3rd. Luxembourg is wide. He's 4th from Ensued, and down next to the rail is Without a Fight. Next line of 3, outside in, Marquisat, Dubayana and Giavolotto, and there is no pace on. A length away, Continuous from Iracine, and 5G Patch and Stellenbosch, the favourite, is last, and she's 8 lengths off Pradaria, who turns them to the back straight. The first of the 4 Group 1s at the Turf World Championship, and with 1,400 to go, it's Pradaria by a length, and with the slow speed, there goes Atzani with HKIR Generation. He's gone out and around Last City Blanche. Luxembourg, he's had to work wide. Without a Fight hasn't on the rail. Ensued is next from Giavolotto. They were followed by Marquisat, Dubayana next. And then came 5G Patch and Continuous and Iracine, and Stellenbosch is last of all. 1,000 metres left to go. And the leader is still Pradaria. Half a length over HKIR Generation. Without a Fight has crept even closer now without having to do any work. The Australians running 3rd. 4th and pushed along Last City Blanche, and then came Giavolotto. Luxembourg doing it tough. Ensued next. Ridden along Marquisat from 5G Patch against the rail. Then Dubayana. Continuous. Stellenbosch starts a run, and Iracine's back to last. Pradaria's had a charm run. He leads in the Vase by a length over Without a Fight, who's come to 2nd and trying to push HKIR Generation out of the way. Stellenbosch, Luxembourg join in, and then came Marquisat and Ensued. It's the filly for Japan. Stellenbosch taking the lead. Luxembourg, Marquisat, Giavolotto hitting a gut next to the inside. Giavolotto has run past them all. 2 over Stellenbosch and getting home well. Dubayana, what a ride. Oisin Murphy Gia Velotto won the Vase and beat Dubai Honor and Stellenbosch. Then came Ensued Iracine. Next in 5G Patch, Marquisat. Luxembourg. Enjoy the retirement paddock, old boy. From Continuous, La City Blanche, Predaria. Without a fight, had the perfect trip. He stopped. He beat one in, HKIR Generation. Gia Velotto. Oisin Murphy and Marco Botti, where did he come from? 12 and 3. Dubai on a second for Tom Marquand at 3.8. Stellenbosch third, number 13, Joe Moreira at 1.6. We had Stellenbosch loom up. Luxembourg stayed on, but the run told in the end. And then all of a sudden, Gia Velotto hit the gap in the Vase, picked it up, put the flowers in, and said, thanks very much, that's my bouquet. What a ride, Oisin Murphy. And he's won by a big space. 2, 4, 13 and 12 are the placings, as the Europeans have dominated first and second. Stellenbosch, it was such a slowly run race, 2:27.53. They're half a second outside of standard. The field taking off from about the half mile, and Gia Velotto roars away with the Vase by 2.5 lengths. One between second and third as we head down to Nick Child with the winning rider.
Very much, Mark. Oisin Murphy, take a bow. I bet you love it when a plan comes together. That was magnificent.
Yeah, well, Nick, he had a beautiful trip around until we turned in. He relaxed great and he was in a super rhythm. Very well behaved today. He got checked turning into the straight, and often you don't get going again. But how powerful was he late, and well done to Team Marco Botti. It was a great plan coming here and they did an incredible job preparing him.
And were you concerned at any stage with the fact that there wasn't a sort of a lightning quick tempo?
No, because he relaxed and he was in a good rhythm and he was always going to give himself every chance. So, no, it was terrific, Nick. Really, really brilliant.
And Oisin, for you as a rider, you've ridden winners all around the world, etc. How special is this to come here and win on the big stage?
Massive. He's owned by the most wonderful people, and Marco Botti has had a terrific couple of seasons with not a huge amount of horses, but he places them incredibly well, Nick, and I'm sure him and his team will get a huge thrill out of this.
Oisin, enjoy the moment. Well done.
Thank you.
What a win there from Gia Velotto, taking out the Hong Kong Vase. We'll get some great images as well. Oisin Murphy wearing jockey cam. Here's the replay of the first of the Group 1s.
And it's a good line away. No early speed from Iracine. He's being hustled along, but he's gone back to last, and Ensued began well. HKIR Generation with pace, and outside of them is La City Blanche. Predaria punching up against the rail. Dubai Honor gets over behind them, and wider as Luxembourg. Without a Fight's down on the fence. Marquisat's wider from Gia Velotto, and then came Continuous, who's gone back to be fourth last. Iracine is on the fence. The favourite Stellenbosch is second last, and 5G Patch is last of all. A round to go, and it's Predaria for Japan. Joined up front by La City Blanche for Hong Kong, China, and HKIR Generation third. Luxembourg is wide. He's fourth from Ensued, and down next to the rail is Without a Fight. Next line of three, outside in, Marquisat, Dubai Honor and Gia Velotto, and there is no pace on. A length away, Continuous from Iracine, and 5G Patch and Stellenbosch, the favourite, is last, and she's 8 lengths off Predaria, who turns them to the back straight. The first of the 4 Group 1s at the Turf World Championship, and with 1,400 to go, it's Predaria by a length, and with the slow speed, there goes that Zany with HKIR Generation. He's gone out and around La City Blanche. Luxembourg, he's had to work wide. Without a Fight hasn't on the rail. Ensued is next from Gia Velotto. They were followed by Marquisat, Dubai Honor next, and then came 5G Patch and Continuous and Iracine, and Stellenbosch is last of all. 1,000 metres left to go, and the leader is still Predaria. Half a length over HKIR Generation. Without a Fight has crept even closer now without having to do any work. The Australians running third. Fourth and pushed along La City Blanche, and then came Gia Velotto. Luxembourg doing it tough. Ensued next. Ridden along Marquisat from 5G Patch against the rail. Then Dubai Honor. Continuous. Stellenbosch starts a run, and Iracine's back to last. Pradari has had a charm run. He leads in the Vase by a length over Without a Fight, who's come to second and trying to push Car-Ying Generation out of the way. Stellenbosch, Luxembourg join in, and then came Marquis and ensued. It's the filly for Japan. Stellenbosch taking the lead. Luxembourg, Marquis, Giavolotto hitting a gut next to the inside. Giavolotto has run past them all. 2 over Stellenbosch and getting home well. Do by honour. What a ride. Oisin Murphy. Giavolotto.
What a winning performance as well. He was absolutely poleaxe coming to the home turn, was Sir Giavolotto. He's run exactly the same time as Win Marilyn did in this race 2 years ago. 2:27.53 there, Paul. Double figure winner there. He was backed in late and a terrific ride in the end to pick himself up off after being decked at the top of the straight. Yeah,
a really good ride there from Oisin Murphy. It was a funny race because Continuous went back and normally leads and there was no pace in the race. 122.50 and 30.50, 38 there for second. Great run from Do By Honour, and Stellenbosch, she ran third at 16.50. Quinella 2 and 4, 543. The forecast 2 to beat 4, 101,048. Trio 2, 4, 13, 792. The test 2, 4, 13, 5,883. And Jenny, we haven't seen a British winner for a while, but that's all changed this afternoon.
It certainly has, courtesy of a fantastic ride there by Oisin Murphy. It wasn't for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. Got really tight in the early part of the straight, and I think it was his recommendation that they bring this horse over for Marco Botti as well. So they've done a fantastic job. He's obviously travelled well, and he's settled in really nicely to Hong Kong. That's a superb win.
Yeah, it certainly was, Graham. I got a text message from you this afternoon saying, please just have a look at Giavolotto, reconsider, think about Giavolotto here, and you were bang on.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Jenny, Tom, he's trained by a proud Italian, Giavolotto. He's ridden by a world-class Irishman, but he's trained in Newmarket, and we're claiming this one for Britain. The first British HKIR win since Red Cadeau, Ronnie Arculi, owned in this race 12 years ago, and he overcame a moment of real drama and adversity when it looked like a gap was going to close rapidly on him.
Yeah, it looked a bit ugly for Oisin on the turn there, and it's a UK Quinella there as well with Do By Honour running second there, Jenny. So he's come to Hong Kong running to one better again today, but
warhorse, isn't he?
He's just acquitted himself so well.
Oh, look, he really has. He was very strong towards the line there, so he's done a really good job. Yeah, look, I think all credit to this also. 2.5 lengths in the end. Yeah. So a really good winning margin from him. And the team, to get them to travel like that and perform like that, it's no easy task. So well done to them.
Jenny's speed never goes out of fashion. And in a slowly run staying race, there was one horse with a real element of zip there, and that was Giavolotto.
And Paul, I think Connections were hoping to come here with a race that was probably maybe going to have a bit of pace in it, but so that makes his, I think, win from where he was and where he got back to on the home turn probably that bit more impressive too. Yeah,
definitely. He had that really good turn of foot and weaved his way through. The gaps open at the right time, and yeah, really nice win for Giavolotto. So really good. Behind, Stellenbosch got back. She ran quite well off that slow pace as well. It's of course Do By Honour running nicely. In there for fourth, it wasn't a bad run also from
Ensued.
Yeah, Ensued for Hong Kong.
Without a Fight, Graham had that lovely run behind. The speed crept closer coming off the back straight. Sort of got a little bit tight towards the inside of the turn, but he didn't find anything after that.
The second up after a long injury break is perhaps the explanation. Stellenbosch, I thought, was in a poor tactical position, but Joe was quite hard at work on the bend to try and get her motivated, and she only got going too late.
Mark was at Jenny.
Lost the whip.
Yeah, Barcelona lost the whip, and he looked like he was sort of looming up to be some sort of chance there, and then just lost all momentum after that.
Yes. So whether or not he needed that to be persuaded, we're not sure. But yeah, he looked like he was going to be a live chance there at one stage, but not to be today.
What else did you see at the end there, Graham?
Well, Luxembourg and Continuous, the tactical plan I had in mind did not play out at all. Continuous held up, never really a factor, and Luxembourg has ended his stellar career on a pretty low note. The lost whip made a minor difference for Barcelona on Marquisat, not a major difference. Giavolotto in Italian, as Marco Botti will confirm, is javelin, and the javelin was right on target in the Vase today.
Certainly was. So this is the photo, Jenny, that all Connections want here in Hong Kong, out in front of the winning post for these big Group 1 races, and all credit to them for coming here, having a go, and it's paid off. And this is the race that the overseas horses like to target. They can. It's not a strong division for Hong Kong, and they know they can come here and probably win some cash. Yeah,
look, it's his very first Group 1 win at international level, so it's a nice one to do. He's a 5-year-old, and he is an entire as well by Master Craftsman. So, yes, they might have a nice stud future for him as well.
Yeah, that's his first Group 1 win. It may not be the last. And winning trainer Marco Botti, he is from Italian racing royalty. And he's got plenty of global Group 1s, but this is his first really big one for a while. And Oisin Murphy, multiple champion jockey in Great Britain. He has had a very checkered few years. He's been on the naughty step and had multiple bans, etc. But he has reinvented himself. And I was watching him because, you know, I fancied him. He smuggled that horse around on the inside and settled him absolutely perfectly. Just won that moment of the pincer movement when the gap closed, but once the gap opened, he was devastating. High class winner of the Longines Hong Kong Vase.
Yeah, he really did a fantastic job there, did Oisin, and we'll get some great footage off that jockey camera this afternoon of him getting into that trouble, and for him to pick himself up off the deck like that, Jenny, and come again with what was really a withering burst of speed. Highly impressive.
Yeah, look, it certainly was. They weren't going all that hard. It didn't appear that way anyway. And so he just needed a bit of luck to go his way. And at one stage, it could have really turned sour. But luckily, Oisin just bullied his way through, was able to get that run. And the horse finished off really powerfully for him in the concluding stages. So he's just done a great job.
I don't know whether you remember a horse called Dandino. Marco Botti trained him, brought him for this race. He was scratched the day before by the vets.
Let's head down to the presentation of the 2024 Hong Kong Vase.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a spectacular race that was. Congratulations to winning horse Javelotto from Great Britain, winning the Longines Hong Kong Vase. 浪琴香港瓶已經係名花有主啦，係由嚟自英國嘅遠飛標槍勝出嘅，恭喜晒 ！Now I'd like to invite the club steward Dr. Silas Yang to present the Longines Hong Kong Vase Trophy and bronze horse statuette to winning owner Miss Francesca Francini of Javelotto。我哋香港賽馬會董事楊兆信博士而家將我哋嘅獎杯同埋駿馬銅像咧，就係頒俾我哋勝出頭馬遠飛標槍嘅馬主 Miss Francesca Francini。Congratulations! And also the bronze horse statuette received on behalf of the owner. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Yan, please also present the bronze horse statuette to our winning trainer, Marco Botti. And of course, to our winning jockey, Oisin Murphy. Congratulations！ 繼續咧，楊兆信博士咧就啱啱將個駿馬銅像頒發咗俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師布銘球同埋騎師莫艾成嘅。Thank you so much, Dr. Yan. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Matthias Breschen, CEO Longines, to present Longines watches to our winning owner. Beautiful Longines Conquest watches to our winning owner, Miss Francini. 好，而家咧，我哋浪琴行政總監 Matthias Breschen 先生咧就係致送浪琴錶俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅馬主 ，our winning trainer。而家就係致送俾我哋勝出嘅練馬師 ，and of course our winning jockey， 以及我哋勝出嘅騎師。Okay, let's all hold to the front at our media friends for a photo. Let's look to the front for a photo. Thank you so much, Mr. Breschen. Now I'd like to invite our winning jockey, Oisin Murphy, to present a bouquet of flowers to Miss Celia Kwok, Vice President Longines Hong Kong and Macau, for attending the trophy presentation. 而家我哋勝出騎師咧就係致送花束俾浪琴香港澳門區副總裁郭靜心小姐㗎。Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite all our guests to remain on stage for a group photo. 跟住落嚟邀請我哋嘅嘉賓留一留步，一齊影一張大合照㗎。We're going to capture this wonderful moment. And we're going to look right at the front. All our press friends here and all the racing fans here at Sha Tin for a group photo. Thank you, congratulations. Please remain where you are. 多謝晒咁多位，我哋繼續留步。Ladies and gentlemen, now please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem of winning country Great Britain. 跟住落嚟，我哋有請香港警察樂隊為我哋演奏勝出頭馬所代表國家英國嘅國歌。有請各位起立並隨舞。我哋現在奏國歌。Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the presentation. See you all at the Longines Hong Kong Sprint Trophy presentation after race 5. 浪琴香港瓶嘅頒獎儀式已經係圓滿結束啦！陣間我哋第5場賽事之後，浪琴香港短途錦標，我哋嘅頒獎禮再見。